Hello and welcome to another edition of the Avid Screencast. My name is Christian Förster, and this week we'll finish our series on audio by going over using sound effects in Media Composer. First, we'll use the way introduced in Media Composer 5, and that is the real-time audio suite plugins. These audio effects are real-time, as the name implies, and they work track-based, so they cover a whole track. You can't just use them clip-based. To add a real-time audio suite plugin, just extend the track control panel. Make sure that your tracks are large enough so that these little boxes here are displayed. And then just click on one of these boxes. There are 5 of them, which means that you can add up to 5 different effects per track. So let's click on the first one. The RTAS tool opens, and here you have different options of saying which track you want to affect, which of the inserts. Now we have the first insert, which is A, and there's B, C, D, and E, and which effect you want to insert into the track. So let's go with a reverb, the d-verb here. Let's keep this simple and use the preset effect. And as it's real time, you can immediately listen to what it sounds like.
It's interesting because you can see sleeves that you see in a new way.
Note how nicely this effect works over the edge of the clip. The reverb is still there after the actual clip has ended.
New way.
If you want to add another effect like a compressor, just use a different insert and then choose the different effect like the compressor or limiter. Now I have 3 different effects on the track, and I want to, remove them all. You can just right click here and remove all the effects at once. So real-time audio suite plugin track-based works very, very nicely. Now let's use the other way of adding effects, which is the audio suite. The audio suite is under Tools, Audio Suite. It opens up and you have this audio suite window. These are not real time. And again, here you can choose which track your effect is being applied to, then change which effect you want to apply. Note here that you can only use one effect per clip. If you want to use multiple effects on a clip, you'll have to use one effect, then mix down the track, apply the next effect, and so on and so on. Now we've chosen the d-verb again. By clicking this plugin icon, you can modify the options of the d-verb. We didn't do this before, so why should we do it now? You'll have to render the effect, and then you can play it.
It's interesting because you can see sleeves that you've seen before in a new way.
Now the problem with these clip-based effects is that they really only work on a clip. And especially with things like reverb, of course you don't want the reverb to abruptly end when the clip is ended.
In a new way.
Because that sounds very, very unnatural. You want to add the reverb after the clip, but how the hell can you do that? Now this is where we'll have to use a little trick. What we'll do now is mark the clip from its in point to a bit after the out, something like this. And now we'll do a mix down by going to Special, Audio Mix Down, Mono, and let's put that on the A2 track. What we've done now is create a clip that is basically the same one as before, just with the gain baked in that I've applied to the clip. That's why the waveform is larger. And we've got some silence in the clip. And if we add a reverb to this clip now and render it, the reverb falls off naturally as it should. Of course, what you could also do is use a dedicated track for that clip and use a track-based real-time audio suite plugin, which, as I showed you works over the edges of the clip. Another thing that might be interesting is if you finished your audio mix and you're not going through anything else, maybe you've also done the voiceover in Media Composer because you're a small shop, and you basically want to apply a limiter to your master output. That is not so easily possible, of course, in Media Composer because it doesn't really have a master output, or it does have a master output, but you can't apply an effect to it. But of course, there's a way around that. So what you could do is, again, use a mixdown for that. Just mark all the tracks that have audio on it. And, you know, if, like me, you've marked a track that has no audio on it, it doesn't hurt either. Do a stereo mixdown or a mono mixdown or whatever, depending on what your project is set up to be. Hit OK. Now there's a new track with a complete audio mixdown of everything that we've got here. It is now grayed out because it's off. So I'll turn this on and solo it because, you know, it contains everything and I don't want to hear the rest of it. And now let's check out this audio before we've applied a limiter to it. Check out the peak meters. Well, there's the soundbite.
It's interesting because you can see sleeves that you've seen before.
And you can see this goes clearly over my -9 dB threshold. Would be a good thing to apply a limiter to that. So again, let's use a real-time audio suite plugin for that. And guess which one? The compressor limiter. And basically, again, the limiter is a compressor with a ratio of infinite to 1. Well, now we don't have infinite, but 100 is enough. We use a hard knee here. A very short attack time because we want to kill the peaks. And a pretty short release time as well because we want to lower the peaks only. And the threshold should be like -9.3 or something. So it really doesn't go over -9 dB, which is what I want. I do not have to apply a gain here because generally I cut off the peaks, and this is not a way to increase loudness, so I don't have to apply a gain here. Now let's play the whole thing again. You can look at the peak meters again.
It's interesting because you can see sleeves that you've seen before in a new way.
And as you could see, this is a pretty effective way to limit your master. Alright, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for watching it. If you like, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast after I have closed this thingy at avidscreencast.com, and subscribe on iTunes or just via these little RSS buttons. And if you have any comments or suggestions or questions or whatever, just drop me a line at mail@avidscreencast.com or comment on the website. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/avidscreencast, and on Facebook, facebook.com/avidscreencast. And if you'd like to know what I do in my day job, check out editguy.de, where I promote myself. Again, thanks for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.